Hi there, my name is Brooke Sievers, and today I'll be presenting with you guys my idea of Sievers sanitation, which is actually pairing with Kennel's Indigo Light Clean. So currently Indigo Light is used in industries such as healthcare and only healthcare. It's used a lot in surgical centers, but what this technology is it's an indigo light, the way that's UV rays, it's visible light spectrum, it disinfects and cleans any sort of bacteria or virus safely and continuously within the air. So this happens on soft surfaces, hard surfaces. So these big light fixtures that are hung from the ceiling at any time of the day are emitted when no other people are in the area, and then it cleans everything. So what Sievers Sanitation is looking to do is expand the market to things other than healthcare. So with the COVID-19 pandemic and just honestly sanitation crisis, what Sievers Sanitation would do is expand this to other markets, such as the hospitality industry, with hotel cleaning, restaurant cleaning, as well as grocery stores. That is a huge area right now that is constantly needing sanitation. So retail settings as well as another one. So the goal here with Indigo Lighting is these installed by Sievers Sanitation would partner up with its local installation company, whatever region around the world that we're in. And from there on out, let's do a restaurant for example, when the day is in the midst of operating, people would still be wiping down tables as needed, but at night, instead of spending that extra hour or two sanitizing and wiping down every single table and floor, these indigo lights would go off when no one is there and clean all the rest of the bacteria. Not only does this save the company costs in terms of the cleaning products they're using, the time of labor that they have to pay their employees, and also in general just for their sanitation employees, or just it limits their exposure to the COVID-19 crisis. And although, as we know, that this crisis will eventually, there will be a vaccine or some sort of cure for it, or antiviral drug, we know, as history has repeated itself, another pandemic could possibly come about, and our world just never will be the same after something like this. So Sievers Sanitation is looking to help expand this market in general, so companies are just prepared for something like this in the future. So the installation cost of themselves, it's $35,000 for the light fixture, to just have that whole installation. Now I know that sounds like a ton of money up front, but when you think of a huge grocery store, for example, that when you're doing the maintenance and operational costs, it actually ends up saving companies an average of $197,000 a year. And this was all calculated by a Kennel Indigo Clean pre-COVID. So now those numbers have gone up way up. I mean, the sanitation industry is currently a $16.1 billion industry, which is expected to grow 5.1%, eventually reaching $21.4 billion. So we know this cost is just going to keep going up, and this industry is just on the rise. So eventually, over a 10-year span, Indigo Clean calculated that companies can save $1.97 million by installing it. So it is upfront, initially a big cost, but over a lifetime, it does save people a lot of money in general. And then so our people here are salespeople. They are the ones going into these different industries and educating people. They're selling them on the importance of using something like Indigo Clean and how the whole thing works, the costs of the initial installation and all of that. And another thing we're hoping to do, as we mass produce it, that big initial cost will go down as we're producing more and more, and as we get better in the technical aspects of how each industry needs it. A restaurant might not need nearly as many lights as a huge multi-floor business does, but that is our goal there. Potential clients, they will be these large commercial scale companies in general, but depending on the region and the area, these companies may change. For example, in Minnesota, the biggest grocery store food chain is probably Cub Foods. However, when you look at somewhere like South Dakota or Iowa, one of the biggest markets is actually Hy-Vee. So it's whoever dominates that specific sector. And same goes for the hospitality region. So it's really looking region by region, that salespeople who know are from the region and know the area well and know these different companies, they'll be the ones going out to them. So what we will need for our key resources include the transportation to get from the warehouse at Indigo Clean at Kennel and then all the way to whatever place is having them installed. We will need our installers. We will also need salespeople, as I had discussed before, some office space, but with everything going on with the crisis, the pandemic crisis, it might just have to be something virtual for the first few years. We also will need customer lists, I kind of explained before, who are the top leaders in every industry, as well as virtual meeting platforms. So whether this be Zoom or Skype, some people are using Microsoft Office Teams, is a huge one. WebEx is another one, so just finding that certain one. Those will be our main key resources. So looking at our channels, it'll be used mainly through business meetings for now. This could definitely change depending on where things are at. But our main customer segment is really any essential business, something that's been essential during this whole thing, whether it be grocery stores, retail, hospitality, etc. So overall, the whole purpose of Seaver Sanitation, what I'm presenting to you, is to be partnered here with this Kennel Indigo Clean and to mass produce and bring these lights, which help sanitize and will help hopefully save lives, help with people's exposure, and overall just have a cleaner environment and lead to a place where people feel healthy and safe in order to operate back to their full occupancy and capacity. So thank you for your time. And if there are any questions, you can reach me at brooke.sievers@jax.sdstate.edu. Thank you.